What's up, everybody? Welcome into the FYF live show brought to you by Front Yard Fantasy.
It's in the game.
It's in the game, baby. I'm your host, Simon, joined as always by my co-host, JL Garofalo. We are on opposite sides of the screen today than we normally are, but I kind of like being over here on your other side.
Oh, I guess you're usually on the left, right? Host goes on the left.
I am usually on the right, left, but I kind of like being on the right. This is like Japanese manga style. Read us from right to left today. Otherwise, everything's going to be backwards, my friends.
Dude, it does feel right. I don't know why. Maybe because it's like the opposite of what we're used to. It's just two of us.
There's nice. Something that feels good about it. The feng shui. Sorry for butchering that term. The feng shui of this is so much nicer than it was previously.
So much
JL,
nicer.
Yesterday we were talking a little bit about Ernest Jones after you unceremoniously missed that question during Who Wants to Feel Proud of Themselves, and I mentioned he may not have had a sack, but he is on the NFL All Quotes team this year. After we say hi to Dame, I'm going to play what might be his greatest work of the season yet that he gave at the Super Bowl parade. What's up, Dame? Welcome in, my friend. Glad to have you here. And we're just going to jump straight into it. Are you ready for this?
Oh, yeah.
I love this man. He makes me love him more and more.
I have not seen this.
Oh my God.
That's crazy.
In front of a full packed stadium and with all the build up too. Like, that was a line. If you got anything to say about my quarterback, if you got anything to say about my defense, if you got anything to say about my O-line, and then the moment they got everyone, and if you got anything to say about the city of Seattle, and then he just lays it out there. That was freaking awesome. Did you notice his shirt?
No.
It was a Sam Darnold middle finger shirt. Sorry, Mom. This has been an explicit show if you're watching, but it had Sam Darnold on his shirt, flipping the bird, finger forward. I'm seeing that shirt selling everywhere now. But Ernest Jones, that's a team man right there. He is bought in. He loves his QB. He loves his team. He loves his city. And that's the kind of shit that makes sports so much fun. You know what I mean? Like, without that, it's not as much fun to watch. Without a man that's out there dropping F-bombs at the celebration parade. He just won the Super Bowl, and the first thing he wants to say is F you to all of his haters. Like, it's not celebration. It is celebration in a way, but he's like, screw all y'all haters. We did it. I love it. I've watched that video 20 times.
You can say whatever you want after you win, and nobody can say anything to you. That's the best part.
Do you have any other like post Super Bowl celebration moments that stand out in your mind as some of your favorites? Or memorable? It doesn't have to be a favorite. Scamper stopping by while your thing is a yo, 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 and yo. I'll give you one that's not a favorite, but a little bit infamous. I love the video of Matthew Stafford, clearly a little bit drunk at the Super Bowl parade as the camera person falls and he just goes, whoop, and then turns around and walks away.
I remember that.
Remember, he was like, not my problem today. And he turns around and completely ignores it. Yeah, it was a roller coaster as well afterwards, because like then it was like everyone hates Matthew Stafford, but then some old racist social media posts of that person came up or something, and then everyone hated her, and then it was like, hey, she's doing an apology. Wait, we can both be wrong in this scenario. That one was good.
That one was pretty good. I feel like there was a LeGarrette Blount one in there at some point that I liked. I'm struggling to remember that many memorable post game though of the Super Bowl. It feels like they're always the same. Guys kissing the trophy.
Wasn't there one of, didn't Tom Brady get a little drunk and like throw the Lombardi trophy
at the party?
on a boat?
Yeah. That wasn't post game, but it was the parade, the Tampa Bay parade.
Just chucked it. And Pat Mahomes, I think a little bit tipsy, gave the Lombardi to a fan in the crowd at a parade as well. That's why I love when they.
What's like the next thing that they're going to do, Simon? What's the next storyline around the Super Bowl trophy? Maybe not the Seahawks, but maybe the Seahawks.
Maybe the Seahawks. The next thing around the Super Bowl trophy, someone's gonna bring it to the bathroom with them at a bar and leave it in there. And the next person to go take a shit's gonna sit down and see the Lombardi trophy just upper deck and sitting on the back of the toilet. And we're gonna have a story like that.
Oh my God, it's definitely gonna be Scatabo.
Or Jason Kelsey, didn't he like steal a luchador mask or something like that last year from a fan and wear it the entire rest of the Super Bowl celebration?
Vaguely remember that. It's great.
If you guys in the chat, Dame, Scampers, anybody else there has a Super Bowl moment, throw it in here. We're struggling to remember some of them, but this Ernest Jones one is going up there with one of my favorites because it wasn't just a drunk goof off. It wasn't a little mistake. It was very intentional. Every word he said, and you could tell he meant it. That was just passion.
I love the build up. It had big Marshawn Lynch energy where you're just like, he's just like building up, and hit you with a F-bomb.
Even like the entire time he was saying, like, if you got anything to say, he shocked me. I still wasn't expecting the FU at the end.
Oh my God, it's brutal.
Dude, so a couple days ago, may have been last week, we did a little game, a little statistics thing, some list stuff with running backs and their consistency from 2024 to 2025. If you remember, there were 8 running backs that were top 12 backs, both in 2024 and 2025. We went over that list, the guys that were likely to do it again, the guys that were going to fall off. I wanted to do something similar with wide receivers today. And I'll tell you, it's a different game, man. This is looking entirely different than the running back one we played the other day. So I've got lists of the top 12 PPR wide receivers from 2024, the top 12 PPR wide receivers from 2025. And the script has entirely flipped. There are only 4 guys that repeated in the top 12 from 2024 to 2025. And the ones that didn't weren't particularly close to making it back into the top 12. So can you think of, this is going to be the first question, the 4 players that were top 12 guys in 2024 and 2025?
Yes, and I feel like I'm going to get a strike on the first one. Let's go Puka.
Puka, I'm sorry, was only in he was number 1 wide receiver this year, but he was number 26 last year, but he was injured for a portion of the 2024 season.
Damn it. All right. So Jamar Chase, he was also injured last season.
Number 1 in 2024 and number 4 in 2025. So he is on the list, baby.
Oh, so he is both. Okay.
He is both. He was not only a top 12 guy, he was a top 5 guy. I'll give you one other hint. There's one other guy that was top 5 both years. He was number 3 last year and number 3 this year.
Who? I can't remember. Oh, Jackson Smith-Njigba.
Jackson Smith-Njigba is on the list. He was number 9 in 2024 and then number 2 this year. Rocketed his way up to number 2.
Unreal.
So you got 2 of the 4.
Okay. Brian Thomas probably isn't in there. Wouldn't put any Texans
He was on
there.
He was on the 24 list, but not on the 25 list. Brian Thomas.
Okay.
So he was number 4 in 24, but number 42 in 2025. Again, injured. What was the other name you said?
I mentioned the Houston Texans wide receivers. I don't think they would make it in there. Maybe. No, I think they've been dealing too much injury.
There was one Texans wide receiver on the list this year, but did not make it last year.
Nico
was on the list at number 8 this year. One of the 8 guys who was a newcomer to the top 12 this year, but he was number 23. Again, missed some time due to injury last year.
What about CeeDee Lamb?
Let's go to CeeDee Lamb.
Dallas Cowboys
was number 22 this season, but number 8 last season.
So you're looking for top 12.
Yeah, I'm looking for top 12 both years. So you got 2 so far, but you're naming guys that made the list in either 2024 or 2025. You're circling the right players. Dame's helping you out. Dame got one of them.
Oh, Amon-Ra, yeah.
Amon-Ra St. Brown was number 3 in 2024 and number 3 in 2025. So there's only one more guy, and this one's tough. I was a little bit surprised to see him on the list both years. Older guy. Not on the team that he spent most of his career with.
Not
on the team that he spent most of his career with. So it's a scenery change.
What the heck is this scenery change? Guy on a new team. Oh, Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams has been a top 12 wide receiver the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Number 11
Okay,
last year and number 9 this year.
That's crazy. He was a top 12 on the Jets with Aaron Rodgers. That's insane.
Absurd, right?
Yeah. He is different.
That dude is different. So, Joe, we're looking at these 4 names: Jackson Smith and Jigba, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamar Chase, and Devontae Adams. Of those 4, how many of them do you expect to do it for the three-peat? 3 years in a row, top 12 wide receivers.
I'd expect all 4 of them to do it again.
All 4
this year.
Even Devontae Adams?
Even Devontae Adams, assuming that he's back with the Rams. I don't remember what his contract details are off the top of my head.
He signed a 2-year, $44 million contract with the Rams in March of 2025. So he's
I bet he wants to be there. I bet he wants to stay there, especially with Matthew Stafford announcing at the NFL Honors that he'll be back this season. I think Devontae Adams is going to want to be there this last year, make a run at the Super Bowl. I think he does it. I think all 4 of these guys do it, barring injury.
And that's the point I was going to get to. When we look at the rest of these names on this list, the guys who didn't do it for the most part got hurt. Almost all of them. Except notably Justin Jefferson, who was number 2 last year, number 21 this year, and didn't really miss time. He just
missed his quarterback.
He missed his quarterback. He missed Sam Darnold.
Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Ernest Jones stole him from him.
Yeah.
Do you think
Jefferson's like, you didn't have to tell me about Sam Darnold?
I knew about him. I knew all about him.
I'll bring him back.
Do you think he can get back into the top 12 this coming year? He obviously has the talent. Is it solely dependent on the development of JJ McCarthy?
In the offense. I mean, offense pretty dependent on the quarterback and the quarterback performance, but if they can do, like, if you have a star enough wide receiver, then even bad quarterback play can maybe be compensated for. But JJ's got to step up, or they got to figure out a good solid backup to JJ in case he gets hurt or sucks.
JJ, I want you to, this offseason, for inspiration, go look at some of DeAndre Hopkins' time in Houston. That dude was a top 12 wide receiver with like Tom Savage throwing him the ball. That dude got it done with nobody at the quarterback. Does he got a big booty?
Yeah, dump truck. Remember?
I thought that was Jeff Driscoll.
Oh, it might be Jeff Driscoll.
I mean, Tom Savage might got a booty too. I'm gonna look up his butt.
They're just both Texans quarterbacks at one time, right?
Tom Savage butt. No, I did not mean Tom Savage pit. I want to specifically see his butt. You know what?
Showed you a picture of his pit?
Well, it auto-corrected to Pitt. I think that's where he went to college, and it assumed that I wasn't trying to look up an NFL quarterback's rear end, but indeed I was. We got my mom in the chat. Welcome.
Hey.
And Scampers knew that it was Devontae Adams. Got that one correct.
Well done.
Joe, this is a complete side tangent, but because I just took a sip. Have you ever drank this? Fiji water?
Yeah.
Yeah. It tastes weird, man. It does not taste like normal water. There's like a mineral-y taste to it. There's something odd whenever I sip it. I just want to taste water, and this is this tastes like metal.
Interesting. I've had that experience with other waters like Fiji, but I didn't remember Fiji tasting like that.
I Googled it yesterday, and apparently in 2024, there was like a 2.9 million bottle recall of Fiji water, but my bottles weren't recalled. This is just what it tastes like.
You checked?
This is the taste on purpose. This was not in the recalled batch.
Simon, so was Mike Evans in the top 12 2024?
He was not.
No.
So the names you named CeeDee Lamb, you named Justin Jefferson, or we talked about him, you named Brian Thomas. There was a guy who finished at 19 this year, missed some time, that was number 5 last year.
What was he last? He was 5 last year, and he missed some time this year.
Missed some time this year and finished at 19. On a team with a new head coach going into next season.
Not Zay Flowers. He didn't finish that high.
Zay Flowers actually made the top 12 this year.
Is it Malik Neighbors?
Malik Neighbors was number 102 this year.
Oh,
after he missed most of the season. But he was number 6 last year. was Drake London. That was number 5 last year. That finished at
Oh,
19 this year. There's some
that makes
interesting
sense. He has
names on
time.
here. Drake London, Malik Neighbors. Whenever you're looking at them, do they have a shot at breaking back into the top 12 next season? Drake
Yes.
London, there's a quarterback question mark. Malik Neighbors, I think there's more of a health question mark. Is he going to be back to full speed?
Yeah, let's do one at a time. So Drake London, I'm curious what you think, Simon, about Drake London. I'll take Malik Neighbors. Drake London's got Kevin Stefanski as his new head coach. You mentioned the quarterback concerns being that he has Michael Penix as a starter, Kirk Cousins as the backup going into this next season. Do you think that Drake London is even better this year? Is he going to be the same or is he going to be worse?
I know what Kevin Stefanski did. There's a name on this list. I'm going to spoil one. Number 12 last year, Jerry Jeudy on the Cleveland Browns, was the number 12 wide receiver last season on the Cleveland Browns with a arguably worse quarterback situation than the Falcons have going into this year. I think Kevin Stefanski, paired with Drake London, as long as he stays healthy, is going to love that man, especially in the red zone. I would expect Drake London to break back into the top 12, potentially even the top 5 next year. Like, I don't think that's out of the question that a guy like him in an offense with Bijan and Kyle Pitts kind of taking some of the attention away could be a premier wide receiver. Like, he showed it to us. It's usually not a fluke when a guy ends up top 5.
Yeah. And we saw it the year before, like you mentioned. It's just a little bit of injury this year and stuff, but things are really looking up for the Atlanta fans down there. I'd be hyped if I was a Falcons fan. Got Stefanski, and he seems pretty competent.
You got Matt Ryan taking over as the president of football operations or something along those lines. And
Yeah,
their
that'll be
comments about the
interesting.
quarterback are interesting. So they're expecting to release Kirk Cousins. Michael Penix is the presumed starter, but they haven't committed to him as the starter at the beginning of the year. They've had very vague quotes about, we'll evaluate our situation. We'll see what's going on. I don't think, I think Easton Stick is also on that roster. I don't think he's got a shot at taking over the job, but I'm hoping that Penix can be the guy, and maybe with someone like Stefanski there, we'll see a better season out of Penix, but it wasn't too inspiring this season after some of the flashes we saw at the end of his rookie year.
I feel like he showed some improvement from last season. It felt like season 1 was a mess, and then season 2 he was putting it together, just not all the time. Like the entire game, he would make a critical mistake at some point during the game. This year, with a head coach like Kevin Stefanski, maybe he's able to put it together. I think they're probably being non-committal just to give themselves maximum flexibility going into this offseason. But yeah, I guess you don't really need to like appease a Michael Penix. Like, yeah, you're the starter. You could just leave him as like the vague starter. And what is he going to do?
Put the chip on his shoulder,
Yeah,
which
exactly.
works for
Help
guys
you.
like Baker. Sometimes it depends on how you're motivated, right? But usually
Yeah,
I think with guys that make it to the NFL, that is a motivating factor.
yeah.
The exact quote
So
was, neither of us are the head coach of the football team, so we can't answer your question on that. I think as we start to get into this process and dive deeper into the roster, how it currently stands, where it's going in the future, I think those are conversations that'll be a part of it. Quarterback's obviously very important, and we're excited about Mike and what he's doing with his rehab. I've been up at the facility the last 3 weeks, and Michael's been in there attacking that, and he's in a good space right now. So we're excited about where he is at. But certainly a lot of discussions for us about the entire roster.
it would be concerning if they were like, "Yep, no, we already know. We got exactly what we're gonna do."
He's injured. He might not be ready for week 1, but we are locked in, baby. We're
Yeah,
getting Michael Penix in there.
yeah, he's gonna start regardless.
Malik Neighbors, we mentioned him. Dude was
Yes.
an absolute monster. Then he got injured at the beginning of this year. Next year, back with John Harbaugh at the head coach position. You've got Jackson Dart coming back, Cam Scatabo at the running back position. Malik Neighbors seems like maybe the safest bet if you guarantee health to break back into this top 12 in my mind.
Yeah, he had the unquestionable talent that we saw rookie year. We really didn't see much from him this past year. In that rookie year, he didn't have a quarterback. At both years, he didn't have a head coach really. Brian Dable, whatever you think of him, I don't think he is the head. He doesn't have the full package yet. You know, him and Joe Shane were not a leader duo together. He needs a little bit more leadership. But now he's got Jackson Dart. Now he's got John Harbaugh. what left does Malik Neighbors need? An
Health.
offensive line,
He
maybe?
only played five games this year. Know what I mean? That'll
Yeah,
knock you down to 102
right.
if you get injured in week 5 of the NFL season.
But you got a mobile quarterback, which is going to force defenses to stay close to the line of scrimmage a lot of plays. And you got this amazingly talented wide receiver who's like a DeAndre Hopkins in his contested catch ability, like a George Pickens type. He's just going to make these insane catches. You just got to get it near him. Jackson Dart, it seems like the dude. That was a question mark going into last season. It doesn't feel like a question mark going into this season.
No, and him and Harbaugh seem like they're a match made in heaven. Maybe more so for his brother Jim, but I think maybe John's got a little bit of that. I think some people would get real sick of Jim's shit. Like I think there's some players who would not rock with that.
You're right.
Give me John. I don't want to be Jim's quarterback.
Yeah, that's fair. No, that's fair. He slaps you a lot.
But Malik Neighbors, I'm with you there. If he can stay healthy, I mean, in week 3, he had almost 40 PPR fantasy points this year. Like it requires a certain level of skill to be able to do that. And he did it in the offense with a bad head coach. This Giants team should look completely revamped next season. And he's the premier guy. He is the best player on the offense there. I imagine John Harbaugh is going to purposefully scheme towards his best player, especially with the expectations that are on him going into this season.
And then you got Scatterbo is just going to run that bad boy
for at least 2 or 3 weeks until he knocks himself out of the league again. Yeah. Man, he's so much fun to watch. If he wouldn't have gotten injured, he probably would have won 12 of the 18 Angry Runs awards that they give out on GMFB, because that dude has like hate in his heart with a smile on every single play.
Yeah.
He loves the hate.
He does.
You mentioned CeeDee Lamb earlier. CeeDee Lamb was number 22 this year, missed some time, number 8 last year. But we saw another Dallas wide receiver crack into not only the top 12, but the top 5. George Pickens was the number 5 PPR wide receiver this year. So this is, I think, a trickier one. CeeDee Lamb, historically the wide receiver 1 there, considered one of the best wide receivers in the league, did miss some time, but even when healthy, was outperformed fantasy-wise and yards-wise by George Pickens for a decent portion of the season. You could say maybe CeeDee Lamb wasn't fully recovered whenever he came back. Joe, when you look at this situation, who do you draft first next year? Is it CeeDee Lamb? Do you say he's healthy, he's got an offseason to recover, and he is the guy there? Or is it George Pickens, the guy who was a top 5 PPR wide receiver? He just did it. We watched him.
I think you're going to have to make that choice, because I think both guys are going to go in the first and second rounds at some point in redraft leagues, maybe even in super flex leagues. So maybe just shifts down a little bit towards like second to third. You don't think you'll think they'll be even higher?
Oh, no, that was the mineral content in the Fiji
that's your
water.
Volcanic water.
Yeah.
Why don't you not drink? Why don't you just drink different water then? Why are you buying Fiji if you don't like it?
Because I bought it. It was on sale, okay? And during the it like was snowy for 1 day here, and the entire city of San Antonio freaking panicked and bought every case of water that ever existed.
For that package of Fiji.
Except for that package of Fiji.
They knew it was bunk.
They knew it was rotten, man. And I'm the sucker who bought it.
You are. Do you put one ahead of the other? I put CD ahead of George Pickens personally, just to bias you a little bit. But do you have a different order?
No, but I am notoriously sticky on some of this stuff. I take a little bit more evidence to move forward. CeeDee Lamb has the draft pedigree. He has the history with that team. And I do think coming back from injury is difficult. And also you're reinserting yourself into an offense that has learned how to gel without you. I think this offseason, as they're game planning, CeeDee Lamb will be game planned as the wide receiver 1, and George Pickens will be game planned as an elite wide receiver 2. This is a team that could have 2 guys finish in the top 12 next year. They throw the ball a ton. They let Dak sling that thing. So Javonte Williams had an outsized role this year. I'd be shocked if he hit when he was over 1,200 yards this season, or over, like, it was kind of crazy, the numbers that he had. I bet we see a little bit more volume if both of those guys stay healthy. And I'll put CeeDee Lamb above George Pickens, but it is close. Yeah,
no, it's fair. I think a lot of fantasy managers are going to be struggling with this all off season, because both of these guys are going to be great. It feels like the Cowboys figured out that the strategy, the dual wide receiver, could work for them. The Bengals have been running that strategy for a couple seasons now to varying success. But it really worked for the Cowboys for a bit this year, even though they were kind of dismantling other parts of their team. They were able to still make a run. So we could just get another CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens season. If they both stay healthy and stuff. Unless the defenses really figure out a way to shut this strategy down, those two guys are so good at catching the ball. It's hard to shut them down completely.
And Dak's a good enough quarterback. He's a great quarterback.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Dak is a great quarterback to support two wide receivers. You're not going to have a team that can have two top 12 guys if you don't have a quarterback that can sling it like that. Consistently, probably underrated. It's probably Jerry Jones' fault that he is. I don't know how exactly, but that man just puts a stink on the franchise that I have to imagine it's his fault. Just some of the names on here that stand out from this year are the guys that weren't injured in 2024. Like, there is no reason based on injury that they didn't make the list, but they elevated themselves into the top 20, into the top 12 in 2025. Those names, there's only two of them, are Zay Flowers and Michael Wilson of the Arizona Cardinals. Zay Flowers was number 25, got up to number 7 PPR wide receiver. Michael Wilson was the wide receiver 61 in 2024 without missing a single game and was the wide receiver 10 this season. Are either of those guys new regulars in the top 12? Will we see either of them repeat in 2026, or are these fluke seasons like the Jerry Jones Judy Jones season from 2024?
Michael Wilson, dude, he felt like he came out of nowhere. He could be a trap. He's the harder one.
Marvin Harrison.
Yeah,
I'm the big dog.
Marvin Harrison Sr. is my daddy now.
Who's your daddy? No, he's my daddy.
Oh, that'd be hilarious if he just like Brock Purdy just stole Trey Lance's job. What if Michael Wilson just stole Marvin Harrison Jr.'s dad?
He goes home for Thanksgiving and Michael Wilson sitting at the table.
Yeah,
got a bib on that says Junior.
Marvin Harrison Sr. just becomes like infatuated with Michael Wilson. Just stops.
They're in the garage watching baseball on like an old school tube TV.
Hey, you guys watching? I thought I asked you to watch this game, Dad.
That would be hilarious. I agree with you though, Jail. He is I think he's a trap. And I think part of the reason I think that is nothing worked on this Cardinals team this year. Their leading rusher had barely over 300 yards. That's not a functional NFL offense.
Yeah. I think the entire offense, that team needs to reset. Kyler's not going to be there, so it's going to be hard to figure out. It's going to be hard to bet on Michael Wilson getting the same performance that he got last year, but he really showed up this year. So if that's for real, I'm going to have to go back and dig into the tape from this year to see, like, is this dude for real doing something, or is he just getting lucky because Marvin Harrison Jr. is not as good?
There's probably going to be real value to be had on that Arizona Cardinals team because of the complete mess they were last year. And then on top of that, the entire overhaul of the coaching staff. That's the most unknown team for me going into next year about what they're going to look like. I feel like with the Raiders, you have an idea of what their plan is. With the Falcons, you have an idea of what they're doing. The Saints still had some fantasy contributors. They've got a promising young QB. Like, the Cardinals are a blank. Tyler Schauf. I'm going to say it different every single time. Man, whenever I go back and watch clips, it's like, they say like shuck it, chuck it all the time. Like, they're saying all sorts of stuff.
I'm surprised whenever you said that. I'm like, Simon, we're nearly through the season.
I guess I was watching Saints games on mute. It was just on Red Zone, and they didn't score too many touchdowns.
Spencer Rattler really had a weird year this year.
Yeah, I barely know her. It's your favorite joke.
It's my favorite. Zay Flowers is easier to figure out. I feel like he's a little spiky, and like the Ravens are. The Ravens are spiky. New coaching staff this year, which hasn't been the case, so could be interesting. Zay definitely has a lot of variability here, but it just feels like he's still going to be the main target on that team. He's 29% target share this year. It's pretty high.
Who did they bring in for the OC for the Ravens? Declan Doyle, who served as the Chicago Bears offensive coordinator. That's right. They hired the Bear. That's exciting.
So that could be fun.
They got a defensive head coach, but it sounds like they brought in someone who they're going to trust with that offense. Zay Flowers, this was a little bit of a breakout season for him this year. Jill, I'm with you. He's the top receiving option in that offense, and that's another team. We talked about chip on your shoulder. That Ravens team, top to bottom roster, was supposed to be good this year. They were supposed to be a playoff team. They were supposed to be Super Bowl contenders, and it just didn't happen. Lamar is going to come back ready to rock next year, I feel like. And Zay Flowers will be the primary beneficiary of that.
For sure.
Well, that's all the names on that list. There's some funny ones. It was the complete opposite of the running back situation where we had almost complete overlap between 2024 and 2025. I think injuries. We think about running backs as the ones that are get injured more often, are more injury prone, but injuries played a major role in the top 12 wide receivers, both last year and this year. We're seeing names just fall out completely in each of those 2 seasons. So I think maybe don't overvalue the health of wide receivers over running backs going into your drafts next year. I do think the pendulum kind of swings both ways, and it's not as clear cut as running backs get injured, wide receivers don't, because we had 8 guys, 7 of which dropped out due to injury. And then of the 8 guys that were new this year, 6 of them were injured for a portion of 2024. So look at the guys that were previously injured as well. You might be getting some players making a little comeback coming into 2026.
That's a really good call out.
Craig said, breaking news, NFL players get injured. I'll kill you, Craig. Acting like the narrative isn't that running backs get injured more. I've been pushing that narrative for years, baby. That's why I go 0 RB, but turns out I'm an idiot. Did not work this season.
I didn't realize.
Turns out I'm stupid. Okay. John Luke, anything else before we go?
No, that's all.
That's all. Tomorrow we'll be here. Pay attention to Front Yard FYF on Twitter to find out when, and hit that notification bell at FYF on YouTube. It will notify you when we go live. Until then, though, adios, everyone. If you got anything to say about my co-host, fuck you.
Fuck you.